The New York Mets recently faced a significant setback in their pursuit of star outfielder Kyle Tucker, despite making a substantial offer. Reports indicate the Mets offered Tucker a 4 year, $220 million deal, including a $75 million signing bonus and a front loaded structure. However, Tucker ultimately chose the Los Angeles Dodgers, signing a 4 year, $240 million contract, which included $30 million in deferred money. This outcome has left many Mets fans feeling a mix of shock and frustration, highlighting the allure of certain destinations regardless of financial parity. Despite the disappointment, this situation isn't necessarily a failure by owner Steve Cohen or president of baseball operations David Stearns. Stearns' philosophy prioritizes acquiring talent through trades, drafts, or shorter term deals, avoiding excessively long contracts. The Mets have made some off-season additions, including Bo Bichette, Devin Williams, Jorge Polanco, and Luke Weaver, and acquired Marcus Semien. However, these moves follow the departures of key players like Pete Alonso, Edwin Diaz, Brandon Nimmo, and Jeff McNeil, leaving significant gaps. Major roster upgrades are still necessary, particularly in the outfield and starting rotation, before spring training begins. One realistic path forward for the Mets involves trading for a frontline starting pitcher, such as Freddie Peralta. This would likely require using prospects like Brandon Sproat and A.J. Ewing, with a long-term extension justifying the cost. Following such a trade, the challenge would be finding reliable free agent bats in what is currently a thin market, like Cody Bellinger. Another viable strategy is to sign a top-tier free agent pitcher like Framber Valdez to anchor the rotation. This move, however, would incur draft pick penalties and require careful consideration of payroll concerns. Subsequently, the Mets could trade prospects for an impact outfielder, addressing another critical need. The Dodgers' acquisition of Tucker, with his $60 million average annual value, further solidifies their super team status. This dominance raises concerns about competitive balance in MLB, drawing parallels to Kevin Durant joining the Golden State Warriors. Such moves by powerhouse teams question the fairness of the league under current rules, creating an uneven playing field. Mets fans have expressed frustration over past decisions regarding players like Edwin Diaz, Brandon Nimmo, Jeff McNeil, and Pete Alonso. However, the front office maintains these decisions were part of a long-term strategy, even if unpopular at the time. Each move, from a strategic standpoint, was considered logical for the team's future, despite the immediate fan reaction. While this offseason has been uncomfortable and disappointing for many, the Mets still have time to reshape their roster. If the roster remains unchanged when pitchers and catchers report, criticism will certainly be warranted. However, the more likely outcome is a late flurry of bold moves that could redefine the team's narrative and outlook.